I gripped Lila's hand, feeling the warmth that had always grounded me, and tried to push down the fluttering nerves. "You look stunning," I whispered. Lila smiled, her eyes sparkling. "And you look like you're about to faint, Mr. Walker." I chuckled, but the sound caught in my throat. "Just a little nervous, that's all." The minister cleared his throat, ready to begin. I glanced at the rows of smiling faces, friends and family buzzing with excitement. Everything was perfect, or so I thought. Then the doors at the end of the aisle slammed open. My heart dropped before my eyes even processed what I was seeing. Victoria Hayes. She walked in like a storm, heels clicking against the marble, her red dress screaming for attention. Every eye in the room followed her, but I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. "Ethan." Her voice was sharp, cutting through the cheerful chatter like a blade. "Victoria," I managed my throat tight. "What are you doing?" she demanded, stepping closer, her eyes flashing with fury. "Marrying her? After everything?" The guests gasped. Lila's grip on my hand tightened. "Ethan, who is she?" It's complicated," I stammered, my mind scrambling for an excuse that didn't exist. Victoria laughed, but it was hollow, cruel. "Complicated? You left me. You said you loved her? Really? Look at you, Ethan. You're pathetic." I swallowed hard. "Victoria, this isn't the time. You think you can just move on?" Her voice rose. "I was supposed to be your fiancé, your future. And you erased me like I never mattered." Lila's face paled, but she tried to stay composed. "Ethan, I don't understand. Who is she really?" I shook my head, trying to find words. She was my fiancé. But that's in the past." Victoria's eyes narrowed. "Past? How convenient. So I'm supposed to just disappear, huh? Watch you marry her while I'm supposed to smile." "Victoria, please," I said, my voice pleading. "This isn't the way." "The way?" She stepped closer, her hand reaching for me. "You don't get to tell me the way. I loved you, Ethan. I gave you everything and you threw it away." Lila's hand shook in mine. "Ethan, tell me the truth." I closed my eyes for a second, inhaling, trying to steady my pulse. I didn't throw anything away. I thought I was doing the right thing." Victoria's laugh turned bitter. "Doing the right thing? Marrying her? You think she loves you like I did? You've made a mistake, Ethan, a huge mistake." "I can't do this here," I muttered, glancing at the crowd. "Please, let's talk somewhere private." Victoria shook her head, eyes blazing. "No. I want everyone to see. Everyone. I want them to know who you really are." I felt my stomach twist. The entire ceremony was collapsing around me. Lila's grip tightened. "Ethan, why didn't you tell me?" I didn't know how." My voice cracked. "I thought it was over. I thought I could move on." Victoria scoffed. "Move on? You moved on too fast. Too easily. Do you even feel guilty?" "I do," I shouted, unable to keep my composure. "I never meant to hurt anyone." "You didn't just hurt anyone." Her voice echoed through the hall. "You betrayed me. You betrayed her. And now look at you, staring like a coward at the altar." The guests murmured, some snapping pictures, whispers buzzing through the air like static. I could feel Lila's eyes burning into mine, full of confusion, pain, and fear. I need a moment," I whispered, gripping Lila's hand tighter. Victoria smirked. "Oh, you'll get a moment, Ethan. You'll get a lot more than that. And everyone will see exactly who you are." I felt trapped, torn between the two women who had shaped my life. Lila's gentle trust, Victoria's fiery intensity. I was paralyzed, my chest tight, every heartbeat screaming panic. The ceremony that should have been my happiest day had become my worst nightmare. I couldn't speak, couldn't move, and for the first time, I realized how fragile my life, and my heart, really were. I slammed the office door behind me and leaned against it, trying to catch my breath. What the hell just happened? I muttered to myself. The phone buzzed. I didn't answer. I couldn't. My thoughts were spinning, looping. Victoria's red dress, her furious eyes, the way she sounded like I'd destroyed her world. I couldn't think straight. A knock on the door made me jump. "Ethan?" Lila's voice was soft but firm. I turned, forcing a smile I knew didn't reach my eyes. "Lila, come in." She stepped inside, arms crossed, face pale but controlled. "We need to talk. Now." I ran a hand through my hair. I know. I don't even know where to start." "Start by telling me the truth." Her voice cracked slightly. "Who is Victoria to you? Why is she here?" I sighed, pacing the room. She used to be my fiancée. Before you." Her eyes widened. Used to be? Ethan, you never mentioned her. Not once. Did you ever love her? I froze, the question stabbing me. I thought I did. I don't know if I ever really knew what love was. She was intoxicating. Everything I couldn't resist. Lila's lips trembled. You left her? Just like that. I tried, I admitted. I thought it was over. I thought I could move on. And then I met you, Lila, and I... Stop. Her voice echoed against the walls. You can't just talk your way out of this. Do you have any idea how humiliating it was to have her storm in there? I know. I ran both hands over my face. I didn't expect it. I thought it was over. But she doesn't let things go. You mean she doesn't let you go? Lila's eyes narrowed. She wants control, Ethan. That's what this is about. Isn't it? I nodded slowly. Yes, partly. She's always wanted control. I used to think it was passion, but now I see it was manipulation. I was blinded by it. Lila stepped closer. Manipulation? So all this, her accusations, the public humiliation, was planned? I think, yes. Maybe not all of it, but enough. My voice dropped. She knew exactly how to get to me. She knew I couldn't ignore her. And you? Lila's voice softened. Did you encourage it? Even a little? I swallowed hard. I didn't mean to. I just froze. I didn't know how to respond. I still don't. The silence hung heavy. Then the door opened again and Marcus Lee, my best friend and business partner, walked in with a grin. Heard there was a wedding apocalypse. You two okay? I groaned. Marcus, now's not the time for jokes. He held up his hands. Fine. But seriously, Ethan, you need to sort this out before it ruins everything. Lila's scared. You're scared. And Victoria, she's dangerous if you let her play you like a puppet. She already has, I admitted. And I don't know if I can stop her without hurting someone. Marcus leaned against the desk. Then figure out what you actually want. Because right now you're stuck between hearts, and if you don't act, you'll break both of them and yourself. Lila's eyes searched mine. Do you love me, Ethan? I hesitated, the weight of the question suffocating. I do. I think I do. But I can't ignore what happened with Victoria. I can't pretend it didn't shape me. Her hand brushed mine lightly. Then be honest with me. Every feeling, every fear. I can handle the truth, Ethan. But lies? I can't. I nodded, closing my eyes for a second. Victoria, she was my world once. And maybe a part of me still is. But I can't let her control my life anymore. Not if I want to have any future with you. She sighed, a mixture of relief and lingering hurt. Good. Then fight for us. Fight for me. Don't let her destroy everything we've built. I felt a strange mix of guilt and determination. I will. I swear I will. But I need a plan. And I need to be smart. Victoria, she's not someone you can reason with. She thrives on chaos. Marcus clapped his hands. Finally. Some action talk. Let's figure this out. You've got me. And Lila. We're not letting her win, Ethan. Lila nodded, squeezing my hand. Together, then. No more secrets. I looked at them both, two women who shaped my past, my present, and my future. My chest tightened. Together, I echoed. I didn't know how it would end. But for the first time, I knew I couldn't let indecision ruin everything. I slammed my laptop shut, heart racing. I can't believe this. Marcus leaned back in his chair, arms crossed. Believe it? Victoria pulled a full-scale corporate coup. Your family business almost went under because of her. I ran a hand over my face. She did this? Behind my back. Marcus nodded. She did. She orchestrated the merger so she'd benefit personally. You were the pawn. I felt bile rise. A pawn? My family, my trust, everything. Yeah, Marcus said. And she's proud of it. The door swung open before I could respond. Victoria walked in, heels clicking, red dress tighter than before. So, we're talking about me behind my back now? I stood, fists clenched. Victoria, what did you do? Her lips curled. What I had to. You weren't making the right moves. I fixed it, for both of us. For both of us? I shouted. You nearly destroyed my family, Victoria. How is that helping anyone? Her gaze hardened. I'm practical. Business is war. You should know that by now. Practical? I laughed bitterly. That's what you call betrayal? You gambled with my life, with my family's legacy because you wanted control? Victoria stepped closer. Control? Don't be dramatic. I'm helping you see the bigger picture. You're too naive to understand otherwise. I felt my hands tremble. Naive? I trusted you. I trusted you with everything. You trusted me, she corrected, voice soft but cold. And I delivered results. You just didn't like how it happened. Typical Ethan. I couldn't breathe. Anger and guilt collided. You don't get it. You crossed a line. Personal and professional. You. A sharp knock interrupted me. Lila stepped in with Sophia Grant behind her. Lila's eyes were icy but controlled. Ethan, stop. We're done letting her manipulate this room. Victoria's lips curved in a smirk. Oh, now the bride wants a say. Cute. Lila didn't flinch. Cute? This isn't a game, Victoria. You won't make me a pawn. You won't make him a pawn. We decide what's right here. Sophia's voice was steady. Ethan, we know Victoria's manipulations. Don't let guilt or fear stop you from acting. I swallowed hard. I don't want to hurt her unnecessarily. But I can't let her walk away. Victoria laughed softly. You're conflicted, aren't you? Afraid of doing what's necessary. That's always been your flaw. Flaw? I snapped. My flaw is trusting someone I loved. My flaw is thinking people could act with honesty and respect. Honesty and respect? Victoria's tone dripped with sarcasm. You clearly didn't get that from me. I did what I had to. I played the game. You got played. Lila stepped forward. And now, Victoria, it's your turn to face the consequences. No more excuses, no more charm. You manipulated, lied, and almost destroyed everything. Own it. Victoria's eyes narrowed. Consequences? And what, Ethan? You'll throw me out and pretend you're clean? Don't forget you're as much to blame. You let me in your life. You let me. Enough. I bellowed. Stop making this about you. I've realized my mistakes. But this betrayal, you can't just walk away from it. I won't allow it. Sophia nodded. Exactly. You have to take control, Ethan. Make her accountable. I clenched my fists, trying to steady my pounding heart. I can't ignore it. I have to act. But I also can't destroy her completely. There's a line. I need to find it. Lila's hand brushed mine. We'll figure it out together. You don't have to bear this alone. Victoria's smirk faded slightly. So he's choosing her. Typical. But remember, Ethan, you can't undo the past. I stared at her, chest tight. No, I can't. But I can stop letting the past control me. Lila and Sophia flanked me. I took a deep breath. Victoria, this stops now. You face the consequences and then, we move forward. My family, my future, and my life won't be your playground anymore. Victoria's eyes flared, but she didn't speak. For the first time, I saw hesitation behind her confident mask. And I realized I had the power now. The choice was mine, whether to be the man who lets betrayal slide or the man who finally stands his ground. The email popped up on my phone and my chest sank. Threats, rumors, accusations. Victoria had gone public, dragging my name, my company, and Lila into the mess. I threw the phone onto the couch. She's out of control, I muttered. Sophia, sitting across from me, nodded calmly. Out of control is an understatement. She's trying to dismantle everything you've built, and everything you care about. I can't ignore this, I said, pacing. If I do, she'll ruin me, ruin us. Sophia leaned forward. Then don't. But don't let anger dictate your moves. Think strategically. I clenched my fist. Strategically? She's attacking my life. Every instinct screams revenge. You're not wrong, Sophia said softly. But think, what do you want to achieve? Complete destruction or control? I stopped pacing, heart pounding. Control. I need to stop her before she destroys more. The knock on the door made me flinch. Victoria's voice called through, sultry yet cold. Ethan, we need to talk. Now. I swallowed hard. Fine. But this ends tonight. The moment she stepped in, the tension cracked the air. You're late, I said, my voice trembling between anger and caution. I like to make an entrance, she said, smirking. And I love watching you squirm. I squared my shoulders. Victoria, this has gone too far. Threats, public accusations, you've crossed a line. Her eyes flashed, but there was a vulnerability behind them I hadn't expected. A line? Do you think I care about lines, Ethan? I care about control. You've been slipping from me. You're not in control, I shot back. Your power is an illusion. And I've had enough of it. Victoria laughed, low and bitter. You think it's that simple? You think I'm weak? I shook my head. No, I think you're afraid. Afraid of losing me, afraid of losing what you built. And that fear makes you dangerous. Her lips twitched, almost a smile. Dangerous? Maybe. But I'm also human, Ethan. I've done everything I could to hold on to what I thought was mine. You think this is love? I asked, voice sharper. It's obsession. And obsession destroys. She stepped closer, eyes glistening. I didn't mean to destroy. I wanted us. And what about Lila? I demanded, anger mixing with guilt. What about her? She's been caught in your games. Victoria faltered, her confident mask cracking. I didn't expect her. I didn't want to hurt her. But I can't let go. Not completely. Ethan, you have to understand, I can't lose control. I studied her, heart hammering. This was the first time I saw cracks, vulnerability. But my own morals screamed, do I exploit this weakness or rise above it? I understand, I said slowly. I understand your fear. But fear isn't justification. You've hurt people, Victoria. You've almost destroyed lives. That ends tonight. She looked away, voice quieter. And if I refuse? If I fight back? You'll face consequences, I said firmly. But I won't become like you. I won't destroy you for revenge. You'll answer for your actions and I'll make sure it's fair. Not cruel. Her eyes met mine, a mixture of anger, confusion, and something fragile I couldn't name. Fair? Yes, fair, I said. I've made mistakes, Victoria, but I'm not letting you manipulate me, or anyone else, anymore. That stops tonight. She laughed, bitter and broken. So this is it? You finally grow a backbone? I nodded. I've had enough of being paralyzed by fear and guilt. I've learned from you, and I've learned from myself. I choose the higher path. I protect what matters, I take responsibility, and I stop letting obsession control my life. Her lips parted, eyes searching mine like she expected something, maybe hope or surrender. I shook my head. No more games. You'll answer for your actions. That's all. She swallowed, voice almost a whisper. And Lila? She's safe. And if you try to harm her, everything you think is secure will crumble, I said firmly. Victoria's shoulders slumped slightly, the tension finally easing. You've changed, Ethan. Stronger, and merciless in a way I can't predict. I exhaled, chest tight, adrenaline coursing. I'm not merciless. I'm awake. That's all. And you'll see, power without control is nothing. And you've lost it. For the first time she seemed uncertain. And I realized something profound. Her power had limits, her influence was fragile, and I didn't have to succumb to her chaos. Lila's silent judgment, Sophia's calm presence. They both haunted me and grounded me. And in that moment I knew, this was my turning point. I would no longer be a pawn. I would choose my path. I sat in my office, staring at the files spread across my desk. Every document, every email was a piece of Victoria's web, and I had finally started untangling it. Marcus leaned back in his chair, smirking. Feels good, doesn't it? Watching her schemes start to unravel. I ran a hand over my face. I won't lie, it does. But part of me hates that I feel satisfaction in her downfall. That's human, Ethan, Marcus said. Don't overthink it. You're reclaiming control, not becoming her. I hope you're right, I muttered. Every move has to be precise. One slip and she could strike back harder. The phone rang. It was Lila. Ethan, are you okay? You sound tense. I'm fine, I said quickly, but the truth leaked through. I'm just dealing with Victoria. You mean taking her down? She corrected softly. I trust you. Just don't lose yourself in this. I smiled faintly. I won't. I promise. Later, Victoria stormed into my office, red-faced, fury in her eyes. What are you doing, Ethan? What's all this? Sorting out the mess you left behind, I said calmly, leaning against my desk. Trying to protect everyone you've hurt. You think you're clever? She snapped. This is my game. You can't win. I don't want to win, I said, voice steady. I just want the truth out. People need to see who's really responsible. Victoria laughed, bitter and high-pitched. The truth? You exposing me? You think you can control the narrative? I don't think. I know, I replied. Your allies are questioning you. Your charm isn't enough anymore. People are leaving, Victoria. Your world is crumbling. Her eyes widened, disbelief flashing. No, that's impossible. They can't, they wouldn't. They already have, I said softly. Every email, every conversation I've preserved proves what you did. Slowly your empire is unraveling. You'll regret this, Ethan, she hissed. You'll watch as everything you love is destroyed if you keep going. I shook my head. I'm not going to destroy you, Victoria. I'm just not letting you destroy us. And yes, I admit, part of me enjoys seeing you face the consequences. But I don't want vengeance to define me. Not like you. Her smirk faltered. You're different. You think you're moral, but... I'm trying, I interrupted. I'm learning from your mistakes. From mine. Lila's trust, her love, that matters more than anything. That's why I can't let you manipulate me, or anyone else, anymore. Victoria's voice lowered, almost fragile. You really mean that? You're not bluffing? I mean it, I said. And I've got help. Marcus, Sophia, Lila, they all have my back. You're isolated now. You'll see how fragile your power really is. She stared at me, eyes narrowing. I underestimated you, and her, she spat. Lila. That woman, she's unshakable. I nodded, heart tightening. She is. And you taught me something important, Victoria. Fear and manipulation might give you temporary control, but true strength comes from integrity and trust. Something you can't fake. Her face twisted in anger and desperation. You think this is over? You're still scared. You still think I can ruin you. I'm not scared anymore, I said firmly. You're grasping at the last threads of influence you have. And I refuse to let you take my life, my happiness, or hers. Victoria's lips quivered. You're not like me. You're stronger. But I won't. I can't lose. You're losing already, I said quietly. And you've made it clear that your arrogance and obsession were your downfall. The office fell silent for a moment, tension heavy. Then Victoria stormed out, heels echoing down the hallway, her presence still imposing but her confidence shaken. I exhaled, collapsing into my chair. Marcus and Sophia exchanged glances. See? She's unraveling, Marcus said. And you didn't stoop to her level. I rubbed my face. I know. But part of me feels guilty for enjoying her humiliation. That scares me. Sophia's voice was gentle. That's natural. But it's not cruelty. You're reclaiming control, Ethan. Just stay grounded. Lila stepped in quietly, placing a hand on my shoulder. I saw what you did. You're strong, yes, but also careful. That's why I trust you. Don't let anger cloud your judgment. Don't let her make you someone you're not. I looked at her, heart full. I won't. I promise. Watching Victoria falter is satisfying, yes, but it won't define me. My focus is on protecting what's important, on protecting you. Lila smiled faintly, her eyes soft but strong. Good. Because we need you. All of you, whole and honest. I nodded. I'll make sure of it. Step by step. Move by move. And when it's over, Victoria will face the consequences. And we will survive this. Together. I felt a strange mix of relief and tension. The battle was far from over, but for the first time I felt in control. Victoria's desperation, her unraveling arrogance, showed me that karma was moving, and I was ready to let it unfold naturally without losing myself. The office door slammed and I didn't even flinch. Victoria stood there, red dress sharp, eyes blazing, but her posture betrayed tension. Ethan, she said, voice a mix of charm and fury. We need to talk. Alone. I straightened, heart pounding but resolve firm. We can talk, Victoria. But this ends tonight. Her laugh was sharp. Ends? Do you really think it's that simple? I think it's the only way, I said. No more manipulation, no more games. I'm done being controlled. She took a step closer, tilting her head, smirk softening. You've changed. Stronger, confident. But you still care, don't you? About me, about what I did. I care about justice, I said firmly. Not about letting you control me or anyone else. Your time of dominance is over. Her eyes narrowed, flash of desperation. You can't do this to me. You owe me everything. No, Victoria, I said, voice steady. I owe you nothing. You crossed every line. I tried to forgive, I tried to be patient, but that ends tonight. You face the consequences. She laughed bitterly. Consequences? You think you can destroy me? I'm not destroying you, I said. I'm exposing the truth. Your allies are abandoning you, your reputation is crumbling, and your influence is gone. And it's because of your own actions. Her lips twitched, almost a smile, but it faltered. You think you're merciless, but you can't even imagine what I've sacrificed. Sacrificed. I echoed. You sacrificed nothing but honesty. You manipulated, deceived, and threatened. You've lost control, and this is the first time I've seen you vulnerable. It's not me being merciless, it's you facing reality. She took a shaky breath, eyes darting around, realizing her allies had indeed deserted her. You've ruined me, she said quietly, voice breaking. I didn't ruin you, I said softly. You did. I just showed everyone what was already there. Every decision, every lie, led to this. Victoria's hands fumbled at her wrists. I noticed her luxury watch slipping off as she struggled. My chest tightened. That tiny, precious symbol falling, control slipping away, marked the end of her dominance. You're serious, she whispered, voice almost fragile. You won't let me manipulate you? I shook my head. I won't. Not now, not ever. I've learned from your mistakes, and mine. I won't let fear or guilt control my choices. Her gaze softened, a flicker of regret. I didn't know you'd become this strong. I became strong because I refused to be broken, I said. Because I care about the people I love, not the games you play. Victoria's voice dropped to a whisper. And Lila? She's safe. And if you try to harm her again, nothing you've built will protect you, I said firmly. Your charm, your schemes, they won't work anymore. Her lips quivered, and for the first time I saw real human vulnerability. The arrogance was gone, leaving fear and regret. You can't just walk away from everything? I'm not walking away from justice, I said. From morality. I won't become someone who destroys to win. That's the difference between you and me. She looked down, her watch dangling from her wrist, glittering in the light. Slowly she let it fall to the floor. So, this is it? Yes, I said. This is it. Consequences. Closure. And maybe, understanding. She inhaled sharply, eyes meeting mine one last time. I never wanted it to end like this. I know, I said softly. And I won't pretend it's easy. But it has to end. For all of us. Victoria hesitated, then turned, walking out with quiet dignity, leaving her watch behind like a relic of her vanished control. The office felt heavy and still. I sank into my chair, exhaling slowly. Relief, sorrow, and closure mixed in my chest. I had stood my ground, protected Lila, and refused to let anger define me. The door opened quietly. Lila stepped in, her presence warm, steady. Are you okay? I looked at her, heart full. I am. Because it's finally over. She smiled faintly, walking closer. You were strong. And careful. I saw everything. You didn't let vengeance blind you. I almost did, I admitted, voice low. But watching her fall, part of me worried I'd become her. I didn't want that. You didn't, she said firmly. You stayed true. And that's why I trust you. I reached for her hand, feeling the fragile connection we were rebuilding. I promised Lila. No more secrets, no more manipulation. Only honesty from now on. She squeezed my hand, eyes softening. Good. Because we have to navigate this carefully. Trust takes time to rebuild. I know, I said, voice steady. And I'm ready. For every step. For every moment. We stood in silence for a moment, letting the weight of what had passed settle. Victoria's influence was gone. The chaos she brought had ended. And for the first time in months, I felt a quiet, hard-earned peace. Thank you, Lila whispered, leaning slightly against me. For what? I asked. For trusting us. For trusting me. For being the man I knew you could be. I smiled faintly, a mixture of relief and sorrow washing over me. We're not done yet. But we'll get there. Together. I glanced at the watch on the floor, glittering faintly in the light. A symbol of power lost, control surrendered, and lessons learned. And I knew, finally, that this was the turning point. I sank into the leather chair in my office, the hum of the city outside quieter than usual. The storm had passed, Victoria's empire had crumbled, my company stabilized, and the public whispers were finally in my favor. I could feel it, the weight of months of chaos lifting. Marcus leaned against the desk, sipping coffee. Feels good, huh? No more Victoria Hayes dictating your life. I smiled faintly, rubbing my temples. It does. But the aftermath, it's exhausting. I keep thinking about what I should have done sooner. You did what you could, Marcus said. You didn't let rage blind you. Most people wouldn't have the patience. I shook my head. Patience or fear. Maybe I just didn't know who I was until all of this happened. Sophia walked in, arms crossed, a small grin on her face. You finally look like you can breathe. You've got your life back, Ethan. Don't overthink the rest. I'm trying, I admitted. But trust, that's another story. A knock at the door. Lila stepped in, her expression cautious but soft. Ethan, can we talk? Of course, I said, standing. Come in. She walked closer, sitting across from me. I've been thinking about everything. About us. About what Victoria did, what we went through. I nodded. I've been thinking about that too. About how fragile trust is, how easy it is to break, and how hard it is to rebuild. Lila's eyes softened. I don't want to live in fear or doubt anymore. I want honesty. That's all I need from you. I promise, I said, voice firm. No secrets, no manipulation. Only honesty every time. She smiled faintly, reaching for my hand. Good. Because rebuilding won't be instant. But I'm willing if you are. I am, I said, squeezing her hand. Every step, every day. Marcus and Sophia exchanged looks, silently approving. Their presence reminded me how important loyalty and guidance had been. I hadn't done this alone. I leaned back, reflecting. Victoria, she taught me something. How not to live. How obsession and manipulation can destroy people. Lila's hand brushed mine again. And she reminded me why I need boundaries. Trust is precious, Ethan. You've got to respect that. I do. And I will, I said, heart tightening. I've learned the cost of indecision, of letting fear rule choices. I won't make those mistakes again. We sat in silence for a moment, letting the weight of our words sink in. Outside, the city's lights flickered like stars in a dark sky. You've changed, Lila said softly. Stronger, more aware, and more present. I feel it. I had to change, I admitted. To survive, to protect, to be worthy of you. She tilted her head. Worthy isn't about perfection, Ethan. It's about effort. It's about showing up, learning, and being accountable. I'll show up, I said quietly. Every time. I want us to be a team, not just lovers. Partners in everything, life, work, trust. Lila nodded. Then we start fresh. No shadows, no ghosts. Only us. I smiled, heart lighter than it had been in months. Only us. Days passed in careful rebuilding. I reinstated trust with clients, repaired internal conflicts, and quietly ensured Victoria faced professional consequences. Each step was methodical but satisfying. Karma had unfolded naturally, no theatrics, no unnecessary cruelty. One evening, Lila and I sat on the balcony, wine glasses in hand, city lights stretching below. The air was crisp, a gentle reminder that life moves on. I can't believe how far we've come, she said, leaning against me. I nodded. I can. It was hard, yes. Heartbreaking at times. But we made it through. And I finally understand the cost of indecision. I understand betrayal and desire. I understand resilience. Lila traced a finger along the rim of her glass. I saw your struggle. I saw guilt, anger, even the temptation to become like her. But you didn't. You stayed true to yourself. I almost didn't, I admitted. Part of me wanted revenge, wanted satisfaction. But that wouldn't have helped anyone, least of all us. Exactly, she said softly. And that's why I trust you. Fully. I turned to her, heart full. And I trust you, Lila. You've been patient, understanding, forgiving. You've guided me without forcing me. That's rare. That's everything. She smiled faintly. We've both grown. We've both changed. And we both learned from our mistakes. I took a deep breath. Victoria, she's facing the consequences. Professionally, personally, she's learning too late. But I don't hate her. I just hope she understands one day what she lost. And what she caused. Lila rested her head on my shoulder. Sometimes that's the only closure we get, seeing life move on, seeing justice served naturally. I nodded, eyes on the horizon. And I feel it. Finally. Not just from external chaos but internal. I've confronted my flaws, my fears, my guilt. I've survived and I've grown. Good, Lila whispered. Because now we can be present. Fully. No ghosts, no shadows. I smiled, holding her hand. We'll build something strong. Something lasting. And I'll never take it for granted. The city lights shimmered, mirroring the subtle reflection in my glass. For the first time, I felt the balance of justice, karma, and emotional resilience. Life was fragile, yes, but also beautiful if navigated with honesty and courage. Marcus called later that week, voice light. Everything settled? Yes, I said. Victoria's empire is gone. My company is secure. I'm learning how to live again with honesty, trust, and presence. Good, he said, relief evident. You did it, Ethan. And you kept your soul intact. I laughed softly. I hope so. That was the real test. Sophia joined in. It wasn't just about Victoria. It was about you becoming the man you're meant to be. And from what I see, mission accomplished. I leaned back, eyes closing for a moment. Mission accomplished, yes. But also ongoing. Because life, trust, love, they require constant care. Constant honesty. Lila's voice broke through my thoughts. And I'll be there every step. We'll navigate this together, Ethan. I opened my eyes, meeting hers. Together. We sat in quiet, letting the night absorb our reflections, our lessons, our shared determination. The battles were over, the chaos resolved, and the emotional scars were healing. Peace was fragile but achievable. And we had it, earned through struggle, confrontation, and growth. Here's to new beginnings, Lila whispered. I raised my glass. To honesty, trust, and resilience. To love that survives storms and grows stronger. She clinked her glass with mine, soft laughter escaping her. To us. I smiled, heart full, finally understanding the value of patience, reflection, and moral integrity. Victoria had faced her consequences. I had faced mine. And Lila was my anchor, my reminder, my future. The night stretched on quietly and I let myself savor it. The battles had taught me lessons, the heartbreak had shaped me, and the resolution had given me clarity. I felt the weight lift, the tension release, and the understanding settle deep inside me. Life would be imperfect, but for the first time I was ready to face it fully, present, honest, and resilient. And in that quiet moment, with the city sparkling below and Lila in my arms, I finally felt peace.